Cool.
Yeah, my phone rang a little bit this week. I got some calls for some work.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel good when that happens.
Come on now. I think something similar happened to me. I wouldn't say too much work, but definitely some opportunities and some money. Even if it ain't hard work, it's easy money for me.
Right.
So I love moments like that for me.
Right.
I'm already knowing you feel the same.
Painting is easy money for me, Paul.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
It ain't like work. It's not like hard work.
I'm already knowing.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. My wife is about to head out, so I wanted to walk her
I need to
out.
move. Do I need to move my car?
I moved the car before you got here because I knew you were going to be in the driveway.
All
So
right.
I just wanted to walk her to
Hey, I'm Garland.
Hi.
Garland, Tia, Garland.
Well, T is beautiful.
Yeah.
Where you from, T?
I'm from here.
Are you? Both of y'all from
Georgia
here.
Beach.
Yeah.
That's what's up, though.
East
How did
side.
y'all find each other?
Church.
That's
Yeah.
a good place to find.
Come
someone.
on now, it's divine.
Volunteer camp.
Indeed, volunteering at a math camp, reading camp. Both of us were volunteering, trying to teach the kids.
That's where he found me. I didn't find him.
Oh, you found her.
He found me.
I
He
knew.
found you?
Yeah.
I knew from the moment I saw her. I said,
Right.
Yep.
That's what, hey, anything
Yeah.
that ever worked in my life, that's how it worked.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, it happened instantaneously. Like my wife,
Synchronous.
I was
Yes.
on a MARTA train when I was about y'all age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a MARTA train reading Moonwalker by Michael Jackson
Okay.
in 1987, 88. I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
A girl sits next to me on the train. She's like, "What are you reading there?" And she saw the cover.
Yeah.
She was interested, so we started talking a little bit. She came to visit me and never left.
Wow.
Aw.
She used to live in, I lived in Midtown.
Yeah.
She lived in the West End.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted her, I wanted her to be
Yeah.
at my house whenever I came home.
Yep.
So she just moved in with me.
Yeah.
That's
And I was cool with it. My roommate wasn't cool with it. Man, I thought it was us against the world
That's
type
funny.
stuff.
Aw,
She
the
came in,
romance.
and he was like the third wheel.
Yeah.
Aw.
But it was instantaneously.
Yeah, synchronous.
That's
it was
how
meant
it
to be.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She became my wife.
How
Wow.
long have y'all been married?
30 some odd years.
Long time. You will be a year in December.
A year in December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you found her in the right place.
Indeed. Now,
Right, like me.
yeah.
So sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
though.
to meet you.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, Ricky, you grab it. Perfect. Let's see what that weather says.
It's supposed to be 50.
Right now it's
50,
like it's,
64.
yeah, it's decent right now. I'm back in the house, y'all, for my second lesson. It's time to get it on. My man Paul, he's ready. There go his. There go mine. Let's do it. He had to walk his wife outdoors. Remember that song he told me? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. How it go? It go. That's not the fret. Here goes the fret. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too.
Come on now.
There he goes. All right.
Cool. So, last week we talked about a lot of things. You told me to start from scratch, so I started from scratch.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I want you to, my biggest thing is finger
Yeah,
placement.
putting them down, putting the fingers on the guitar.
Yeah.
So I wanted us to start with the guitar pick. There's some guitar picks if you want one.
Okay.
There is one.
So is it good to learn with the pick?
Yeah, I think it's good to use both.
Okay.
And like a slew of them all behind you because I'm always playing while I'm sitting on the couch. I think it's good to learn how to use both. Granted, your guitar, as I told you last time, doesn't have the pick guard. It's nylon, classical, so it's not really made for using a pick, but I have seen people use a pick on those guitars. It is made for fingerstyle, but with that, you would need a right hand fingernails, no fingernails on your left hand. I see you chopped them down.
A little bit. I need to do it. I need to do it again.
Yeah, it's all good.
They grow pretty fast.
They usually do. Whenever you're using a pick, you ball up your index finger.
This one?
Yep.
Like
and
that.
you place the pick only on that part of the index finger. But you gotta ball it up.
Okay, you ball it up and you place the pick like
On this part. So, yep.
oh.
There you go. And then you can open up the rest of your hand if you want to, if you wanted to just have a little bit more comfort. I know some people who hold their guitar, even though I don't recommend holding the guitar. I just recommend having a little bit of flexibility. I do like, I've seen, it's preferred to keep it as a fist, but I find some people to find it to play a little bit too stiff doing that. So I always tell them to play relaxed. So if your hand is slightly open or if it's all the way open, it's still good. And then if it's all the way open, there is a style of picking where you can still use these fingers if you wanted to. That's very advanced though, so. Yep. First things first, are you in tune? Have you been tuning?
a little, but I mean, I wasn't out of tune.
So that's a factor. Technically, every single time that you sit your guitar around, the pitch always changes, especially a nylon string even more, because the strings are technically stretching whenever they're from that tied spot or your bridge all the way to the headstock is being stretched.
So do I need a tone?
I recommend it. Every time I pick up the guitar, I tune. Last time I played, I was in tune. Yep, says you low. High pitch E string.
It was on E.
Yeah,
but
but
not
it is
quite,
green.
not all the way.
Yep. Play it. Let it ring. Go for it again. See how it's like those blue lines are matching it? I'm gonna play it.
It's on that B here.
Yeah, but you hear how both of our notes don't sound the exact same? I'm looking at mine. It still says B, but it says I'm a little higher than, and I'm pretty sure you're a little lower than. A lot of things could play a factor, like temperature could play a factor. Everything could play a factor. If it get hot, it gets a little high. If it gets cold, it gets a little low. So you probably got to tighten it.
For sure. There
Yeah,
it
that
is.
look good. My clip on tuner too.
Okay, I'm good on that G. Okay. Come on, Eddie.
It's still gonna look good. That sounds
There it
good.
is.
You twisting the right one? No.
And I'm on
Yeah.
Dynamite
I
ain't
figured
that one?
Dynamite is the one on the end.
That's,
I figured because nothing was changing. I was like, you been playing the same note a long time.
There we go.
Now you gotta recheck A though. Yep, loosen that.
Loosen up.
Mm-hmm. No, not. Yeah,
Oh,
here you
yeah,
go.
okay. Yeah, man. I can still taste those smoked wings. They leave that aftertaste. They so smoky. You
This
know,
is it.
They smoking good, man.
I gotta check that
You
out.
gotta check it out, bro. Okay, we good now.
Check A one more time. Yeah, that's good. Could you play every string for me? I just wanted to hear each. Yep, good. Solid. Cool. Nice. So we're gonna do a quick warm up. I like to call this the move in 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern, where we use our index, our middle, our ring, and our pinky.
Okay.
On the low pitch string first, though.
Up on the top.
Yep.
Okay.
Index, and you want to play close to the metal bar. Yep. Play that with the index finger. Then put the middle finger on the second fret. Solid ring finger. And pinky.
See, why my pinky so short? Why won't it come up?
I was about to tell you about that. As soon as you try to play it anyway, though. Cool. So check me out. Whenever we're playing notes, I like to say, you hold the guitar like it's a hamburger. You never, like, let's say this is the burger, right? Nobody holds a hamburger with their full fist and like balls it up. Most times they're holding a hamburger. They're holding it fingertips because they don't want all the juices to get on their hands and all the things. It's kind of the same. So you should play the guitar with your fingertips, right? I'm not doing anything, but my thumb is in the middle of my hand. So if I'm only playing one finger, my thumb is directly behind it. Kind of like I'm pinching it. If I'm playing all four fingers, yep. If I'm playing all four fingers, my thumb is in the middle of all four fingers. It gives you a little bit more reach for your fingers to move around. Yup. Might have to move the thumb if that pinky didn't reach though, but it did reach. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, though, as you just tried to play it, go back for the pinky note. Kind of like you're holding the hamburger as you're, you know what I'm saying? You can pull the thumb down. If you pull the thumb down, it just gives you all the reach that you would need. Yep. So now you're not holding the guitar as if you were holding the full burger. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more. And just make sure you're playing close to the metal bar. Nice. Cool. Do the same thing with the A string. Nice. Next string. And as you're playing these strings, your thumb will probably be moving down the back of the guitar neck. Like the thumb doesn't have to be above the neck of the guitar. Nice.
Go down to the next one.
Oh, you already did that one.
Already did that one?
Yep, we're in G.
Okay. Wait a minute. Am I supposed to be here?
Yeah. Nice. Next string B. Then the high pitch E string. Oh, make sure you're on the second fret.
All right.
So close to the metal bar. Close to the metal bar with the index finger.
All right.
Not that metal. There it goes. There. Nope. Go back to the first one. Close to the metal bar. Right there. Yup. Middle finger close to the metal bar. Solid. Solid. Yep. And all of those notes came out clean though. If I was listening to it, too many of them weren't buzzing unless you were not near the metal bar. So the closer you are to that metal bar, the cleaner that the notes will come out. Guitarists do this all day long. It's not really a musical exercise. You know what I'm saying? Not really a musical warm-up. If you hear that, it doesn't sound like music. But it's a physical exercise. It's more so to get your fingers moving, to get the blood flowing through the fingers and all the things. The better you get at it, you want to do it at a consistent speed. All the songs that we listen to, most times they have that drum beat going in the background that has a consistent pace the whole time. So oftentimes whenever we're listening to music, we call that consistent pace a tempo, T-E-M-P-O. Usually tempo is defined by beats per minute. How many times will a beat click every 60 seconds? So if we had 60 beats per minute, like I'm pulling up right now, I just changed this number to say 60. If we were to click on it,
1, 2,
it'll
3.
click at the same time as every second. Every time a second hand will move on the clock, it'll move at the same time. But once you raise the numbers up, like if I went to 80, it'll be 80 clicks every 60 seconds, every 80 clicks every minute. I go to 120, 120 clicks every 60 seconds. The higher the number, the faster. You want to get to a point where you could do that moving 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern at the same steady pace, every string. Index, ring, middle, pinky, every single string.
I gotta practice that.
Yep. You can do one string at a time. Do it again, but make sure it's on the beats. 2. Yep. Nice. Nice. You're a natural. Come on now. Oh, B string, B string. 2. Ready. Yep. Yeah, that's it. But that was 70.
But I
So,
gotta practice.
You do gotta practice it.
I gotta keep practicing that.
Yeah. Metronomes. You can just Google metronome. I'm opening up Google right now. Right? I just type in the word metronome. No.
What does that word mean?
A metronome is a device that produces an audible click or a sound at a uniform interval that can be set by the user. So it's really just a device that keeps the tempo. I don't know that was real scientific. I just read it how it said.
So I could go on YouTube and put a metronome up there.
You can
and
go
practice.
Yeah, so YouTube works, but even as I typed it in on Google, you see it pops up at the top of Google. 100 BPM, beats per minute. So if I were to click it, 100 beats every minute. You know what I'm saying? Every 60 seconds, it would have clicked 100 times. Slow the number down, slows it down. Raise the number up, it speeds it up. So if you can get to the point where you can start playing this fast, of course this is too fast. That's nice though. You know what I'm saying? You right behind the beat, but the fact that you close, you know what I'm saying? That's good. Yeah. And that's just the same string, right?
Right, that's
when
what
you
it
really
looks like.
when you really get savvy and you can do all the strings. That can help you get used to putting your fingers down. Like how you said, you need to get better at putting your fingers down.
I do.
Stuff like this.
That's the key.
Yes.
I think. I
Stuff-
think that's the key. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That is the key. Whoa, it's funny you said the word key, because that's the next thing that I was going to talk about. So music is pitch and rhythm organized. You know what I'm saying? Pitch meaning how high or how low notes are, and rhythm meaning how fast and slow it is organized. So you have your slow songs. It could be the same note, but very slow, or it could be a fast song. And you'll feel the bob. You'll start bobbing to it and all the things. You'll notice that certain things are at a certain pace. Everybody notices speed. That's a human trait that we've noticed. Even pitch. Human trait we've noticed since like birth. You hear a man's voice as a kid. You hear a woman's voice as a kid. And you can tell the difference after seeing it after a while. That's the same thing that we've done. But musicians, we just organized it. You know what I'm saying? So right now, this is just helping you build up how to move your fingers.
Okay.
But I told you last week, there's only 12 notes. Usually we organize those notes into what we call a key or what we call a scale. So you said that's the key. I said, ironic that you said the word key. Usually you will organize those 12 notes a certain way where you don't use all 12 notes, but you'll use a certain set of notes. Vocalists do it all the time. They even made a whole play about it called Do, Re, Mi. That's Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. What we are doing is organizing those 12 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Back to the 1. 1. We've organized those 12 notes to skip certain notes and play things that are organized in a particular key. So what I was just playing in is the key of C. I told you that all the songs or all the notes in music are based around the 7 letters of the musical alphabet. Same 7 letters as the English alphabet. C is central. I don't know why C is central, but they made C central. There's a lot of songs that's written in the key of C. And I'm sure you've heard songs that have something called a key change, where they'll start in a certain key. Like right now, I'm playing "My Girl" by The Temptations. You know that song, right?
Yeah.
That's in the key of C right now.
Oh, I know every song.
Yep, of course. I'm already know.
Every song.
I'm in the key of C right now. There's a part where they switch a song. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh.
And then they switch the key. So you heard how, like, when I got to that point, I'm in a completely different feeling than I was the first time. We took it up the first time we were here. But after they do all of that part, they're here now. So it's kind of like everything just lifted upward. We changed the key.
Was that a power chord you was playing?
It's interesting that you said that. Yes and no.
Yes or no?
The more that we talk about keys, the more that we talk about scales, the more that these chords make sense. Chords, most times, are just whenever you're playing more than two notes at the same time, right? And I told you about that when we were looking at chord charts.
Okay.
And I said, you only had to press that one fret, but you had to strum all three strings. We're playing more than one note. This note, and this note. The biggest benefit about guitar is you can play shapes. So after you learn a few of these chords, you can learn them as shapes where you can move them all around the guitar. Power chords only play two notes. So usually whenever you're looking at chords, we like to say it's the first note, the third note, and the fifth note of the key, of the scale. So when I was playing that scale earlier, do, re, mi, fa, sol, the first note, the third note, and the fifth note would be do, skip re, mi, skip fa, sol, do, mi, sol. And that's a chord, right? Power chords just do do and so, the first note and the fifth note. And that's a power chord all day long. I'm only playing this string, the A string, and the D string. Two notes. And there's a lot of songs that are built around power chords. It's interesting that you know that concept. Yeah. But I don't have to. I prefer to. I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to introduce you to the concept of scales. Get you playing that warm up. That way you have something to practice.
Should I practice the warm up with a pick or with my finger?
Whatever you're comfortable with. I think you should do both. Nah, both.
Okay.
But there is a right way to use your finger. You trying to learn how to use fingerstyle properly? Let's do it. So, technically, I saw you using your thumb for everything.
Right.
And that works, but you're not really supposed to use your thumb for everything. It's limiting. Most times, guitarists will use four fingers. The thumb, index, middle, and ring.
Okay.
We don't use our pinky too often. The thumb, we like to stick for the bass notes. The index and middle is what we usually like to use for if we're playing melodies, and we alternate between them. So there's two types of ways that you can use your fingers, right? We call it free and we call it rest. So free strokes are when you strum and your fingers are just flying in the air, like how you were just playing before. Fingers flying in the air. We call that a free stroke. A rest stroke is when you pull the string and your finger stops on the next string above it. Yeah, just like that. Both with the middle finger. Try with the middle finger. Now try to alternate back and forth. Yup. That's some real classical style playing. Technically for that guitar, people do that all the time. Your thumb is floating, but you can rest your thumb on the E string.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, that way you're good. And you don't have to worry about where it's going. And most times, people play like that. That's finger style playing. So hopefully you were able to see that. You know what I'm saying? Cool. The thumb still comes in handy. Now with fingerstyle, you don't always have to do that alternating index middle. That index middle helps whenever you're playing a lot of melodies. By melodies, I mean one note at a time. So we were playing that warm up that we just did, and we only did it on the high pitch E string. That finger style that we just did would be good. Yep. That finger style would be good. But if we're playing chords, you can use all 4 fingers. So let's try. You don't even need nothing held down. We're gonna play with our thumb on string 6, our index finger on string 3, middle on 2, ring on 4, on 6, on 1. So let's just do it like this. Thumb and ring on the outside strings. Thumb and ring. Outside string. You got it on string 2. Perfect. Put your middle finger above that. Ring, index above that. You got it 1 string too high. Now you got even higher. 1 string lower. Yep. We're going to do thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, middle. And technically we're going to do this free. So you don't have to do it. You don't have to worry about resting on the previous string.
Okay.
So we're going to do thumb.
Let me get it right. Let's see.
Not the pinky. Ring on the outside.
Oh, the ring on the outside.
Yeah.
That's right.
We don't use
This
the pinky
one,
often.
the next one up.
Yep.
And this one here.
The next one up. So bring your index down 2 strings. 1 more string. Cool. One thing I also want you to do, curve it so that your thumb is on the outside, not inside the hand. Yep, just like that. So technically when you play it, you want your thumb to go on the outside as if you were closing your fist. Not inside your hand like you were closing your fist like that, but on the outside as if you were closing your fist. Yep. Index, middle, and ring. And we're gonna do one finger at a time. So thumb, index, middle, ring. Nice. Do it again. 2, ready, and thumb, index, middle, ring. First things first. Let's put all 4 of them down before we even do it. Yep. Make it easier on us. Index and ring are 1 string too high.
All right.
You just went higher.
Wait a minute.
Index and middle. Index and middle were 2.
The rings go here.
Yep.
The ring finger goes here.
Yep. Middle above that. Index above that. Middle is too high up. Pull your middle down the string. Yep. Index too high up, down the string. Nope, wrong way. Index goes all the way to the G string.
Right here?
Nah, you're on D. So pull the index down. Now you're on A.
All right.
Index closer to your leg.
All right. Closer to my leg.
Index on
Right
this
here.
one. Nope, this one.
Oh.
Yep. So on the clear ones, because technically these top 3 are silver, the bottom 3 are clear. So we're only going to have the thumb on the silver ones, and we're going to use our other fingers, our index, middle, and ring on the clear ones. That's all we're doing. Thumb, index, middle, ring. And let it ring. So technically, don't stop it from ringing. Thumb, index. Now you put your thumb back down and stopped it from vibrating. Let it, yup. Nice. After you finish, put all 4 fingers back down on the strings at the same time.
Put all 4 fingers back down on the strings at the same time.
Yep. So really, that's something you can practice without even doing it. Put all 4 fingers down.
Just put them down on the...
These 3 fingers on the clear strings. On strings 1 through 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. Thumb. And make sure your thumb's on the outside, not inside.
Okay.
Further, yep, to your left. Yep, cool. Lift your fingers off the strings just a little bit. Put it back or down on the strings. You want to get to the point where you can put it on the strings quickly and it's all on the strings. Yep. Reason why we're doing this, there's a lot of like neo soul songs that will play a lot of fingerstyle. And they're already, they find the strings quickly. You know what I'm saying? Another one. Ooh, how do I play that? There it goes. You See how I'm putting my fingers right on the strings as soon as I have to play it. And I'm moving my thumb around, moving the fingers all around. But the goal is for you to be able to place your fingers right on the string, right where it needs to be when it's time to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So eventually I want you to get to the point where you can put all the fingers right on the strings.
Right where it goes.
Yep. And the easiest way to do it is to lift it up and just keep placing it over and over again until you find it. Then do it quicker until you really like, yeah, I got this. Yep. Perfect. Every single time it's there. Now let's play thumb, index, middle, ring. Place all of them. Thumb, index, middle, ring, place all of them. Index finger getting there last. All four at the same time. Boom.
Play them all at the same time?
I meant put all four fingers down at the same time. Your index finger was getting there last. See how you put your ring finger down first instead of your index still floating?
I wonder why I did that. Why did you do that?
Trying to control the hands, we ain't used to it yet. Yep. Cool. I want to talk about a chord that we can do this over. And we're doing a lot of fingerstyle stuff. This isn't technically something that I press often. Like, I don't really push this approach of playing often, but it is very beneficial to learn. We're gonna look at this chord, this E major chord. So I gotta delete those red dots, that way we don't get distracted by it. Remember when we're looking at chords like this, Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye, Eddie, from left to right. Open E string, middle finger. So finger 2 means middle finger.
All right.
On the A string, ring finger on the D string, index finger on the G string. So I start with the index finger on G first.
All right.
Index finger on G.
Index finger on
G. Yep, first
Right.
fret, slide it to your left. Yep. And then put the ring finger above that. Not the middle.
Above it?
Not
On
the
the
middle, but
same?
the ring.
Oh, right
On the second fret, technically, but ring finger though.
Oh.
Yep, and then the middle finger above that. Perfect. Let's go back to where our fingers were. Yep, and play it.
What?
You see where your thumb is now?
Okay.
Kind of got it. Yup. Now you might have a little bit more flexibility
All right.
to use your fingertips.
Make sure I'm there. Okay, you said the
Index
middle
finger first.
Index finger here.
Yep. Ring
Middle-
above that.
Ring above that right here, right?
That's the middle. Switch
Alright.
to the ring. Yep.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
And this one.
Yep. Try to keep your fingers down, but move your thumb so that it's your thumb tip. Perfect. Now you're not holding the guitar anymore, so you can use your fingertips to actually play those strings. Yeah, this requires a lot of dexterity.
Why wouldn't I get that note?
Is your pinky on it? Your pinky not playing nothing, is it? Nope.
All right. My pinky's not supposed to be on.
Ring finger though. So technically, right now, lift your fingers up. Is there any indents on your hand?
Right here.
Okay, cool. I see two of them though. Like I see this line and I see that line. You want it to be more right there than back here.
Ah.
So as you see, they're like right there on my fingertips.
I see that.
So if I played kind of flat, and I'm gonna try to dig into the strings, that way it'll be visible. If I play kind of flat, I'm gonna be covering up the next string. So now it's not playing anymore and I have to keep shifting it. But if I had that fingertip, it's gonna play every single time I try to make it work. That's because I'm using this part of my fingertip, not anything further back. The further back I am, the less that it's working. this is slightly advanced the direction that I'm moving towards it, but it's still something that I feel like is capable to do.
Okay, let's try it again. Where? Now tell me again.
Index on the first fret of G.
Right here?
No, 2 strings up. Perfect. Make sure that it's not the flat part, but the very, very tip. Yep.
Okay.
Solid. Ring finger above that. Ring, not middle. Yep. Above it. Yep. And middle finger above that. Technically, now they shouldn't be interfering with each other. And now your right hand has to match that too. Your right hand, yep, and on the clear plastic strings. Pull the ring finger down the string.
All right, wait a minute.
Yep. Yep. Try to just apply a little bit more pressure. That might be a factor too. No, now it sounds like the second fret. Try to drag it over just a little bit. Try it again.
Okay.
It might be the second fret though because of your ring finger. If you can, so you see how my fingers are slanted downward? If you could if you could like move your entire hand, kind of like rotate it a little bit upward. So this way, not the thumb, technically the whole thing that way. Yep. So you see how we just lifted how do I explain it? Lifted this part so that it's less flat, but more curved towards yep, like that. But pull this index finger back down. It should be on the G string. Now you got it flat again. Curve it around. Yep, this finger too, especially. Now try to play it. Next one is going to be the G string. Yep. Oop.
Something stopping
So,
me right there.
I can see it right now. This finger, the middle finger, right? It looked like it's trying to cover 2 strings. It looks like it's trying to play. Yep. So you want to make it your best effort to actually just only use one finger for one string. There might be other chords that we could look at though. E major is a little challenging because all of these are stacked on top of each other. But we can try to do our best to make other accommodations. Let's start with G chord because that might be easier for you. And we don't even have to worry about the right hand thing that we were trying to work on. I was trying to combine the right hand with the left hand with the technique that my classical guitar instructor provided me with to truly get me used to using my right hand. He said we're going to keep doing one finger at a time. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. But then he said when you get used to that, you can start moving your thumb on different strings. Right now it sounds crazy because we're not doing anything with our left hand, which is the reason why I was trying to get you to play that chord. Index would have been on the G string though. And it's better to do that with all 4 fingers already down.
Oh, have them down.
Yep, all 4 fingers down first before you play any of them. Yep. Then when you play each of them one at a time, you put all 4 of them back down at the same time. So peep game. It's kind of a system to it. Index or thumb, index, middle, ring, together. Thumb, index, middle, ring, together. Index, middle, ring, together. Nope. You didn't put it back down.
Oh, I didn't put it back down?
Nope. All 4 fingers got to be back down before you play the next one. You got 4, perfect. Index, middle, ring. Now all 4 back down. Thumb. And you're also putting your thumb back down before. Keep the thumb in the air until it's all of them being played. Yep. All of them. Nope. All of them before you play it.
Or put them back down before I play.
Yes. All of them. Perfect. Thumb. Perfect. All of them. Nope. Index too high. Yup. All of them. Nope. index and ring.
Index or
ring, middle, index.
Ring, index, middle.
Yeah, and this is very advanced because now you're really trying to control all your fingers at the same time. So,
But do I have these three in the right place?
yeah, that's perfect. Well, yep. Yep. That is not the easiest thing to do at all, and the fact that you're doing it right now, that's a sign that you're gonna get somewhere with this. The left hand is the challenge, though. So we're gonna start developing our left hand a little bit more. Seems like your right hand can grasp the concepts, but that's finger style. It's a little bit different with a pick. I prefer to use a pick, preferably, but I did teach you how to use your hands the right way. So 2 ways for the right hand before we get into the pick, just to give you the reminder, was those rest strokes when we were playing one note at a time. Those are free because they're flying. Rest will stop on the string above it. Yep. Do it on the same string over and over again. So just only do, yep. You're switching strings. Do it on the same string over and over again.
This one?
If you want to. Nope. See how you're playing B, E, B, E. You can do B both times. B, 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 or E, 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 E. Yes, we can stick with E. Do the index finger too. Your index finger is on the B string. Go back to the index finger on the E
this
string.
Finger. This
Not
finger
pinky.
or this
Pointer.
Oh, this is
Yes.
my index. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go back.
But yeah, we're only gonna play this string. So your index on this one too.
All right, on this one.
Nope, too low. All the way down. Yep. We're gonna put both our index and middle on the same string.
Oh.
Yep. Right now, I would consider that free. You are touching the next string, but you want it to stay on the next string. So you see how it's just flying right now? Out of a move your finger. Oh, one more time. Let me move it. Don't move it for me. See how I just kept it there, right? You want to keep it there. That's considered a rest stroke. Yup. Do the same thing with the middle. You can move the index out the way when you're doing the middle, though.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So just the middle. Yeah. Ooh, that's clean. That's real clean. So that's melodic style, finger style. If you're playing melodies, that's how you would do it. Those are rest strokes. If you're playing chords, this is how you would do it. How we were doing one finger at a time if we did all of them. So that's one note at a time, right? And people play like that very fast.
I don't know. I was just doing something.
Nah, why you playing though? Like people do that. I'm gonna show you a classical guitarist who does that all the time. Django Reinhardt. He was big in what style is that? Flamenco style guitar. He had
Spanish?
Spanish. He had a messed up pinky and ring finger, but he had a killer index and middle, and he could play fast. Like he could play fast.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know, performance and durability.
All right. His left hand was the injured one.
Oh, but he was playing with two
But
fingers.
he's playing, yes. He's using a pick though.
Oh.
And it sounds great. Like, that's crazy. People behind him, but that's flamenco style guitar. They was real big to have that chunk, 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 chunk type of style playing and things. But he was playing with a pick just then. But even so, finger style with the right hand. If you're playing one note at a time, this is the best approach. If you're playing chords, getting used to having your thumb, index, middle, and ring on 4 different strings. That way when it's time to play it, you're already ready. You know what I'm saying? And you can play one note at a time. That way it can sound pretty. So I'm really focusing index, middle, ring, pinky, index, middle, ring, pinky. And there's so many different songs that will use that approach in order to play it. So that's right hand finger style with one note at a time, index and middle, or all 4 notes at a time. But using a pick I love using a pick. I prefer to use a pick. Even when I don't have a pick, I hold my fingers together like I have a pick, and I just use my fingernail. That's just something that I do all the time, but I usually have a longer index finger now. It just recently broke, so I don't do that anymore. I'm waiting on it to grow back. So, but using a pick, I showed you how to hold the pick, right? Let's try it again.
Should hold it. Try to act like you want to close your finger.
Yep.
Hold it towards the end.
Hold it on that very fingertip.
Hold it right here.
Nope, too far down. That's near the knuckle. You want it closer to the
Closer
fingernail.
to the closer
Fingernail.
To the,
Yep. Here it goes. Now let's try this chord with the pick. This might be the best time to. So we're looking at G, which is that one right there. Second finger at the top, middle finger all the way at the top, third
this
fret.
is G right here.
Well, that's the G string.
Okay. Oh, so where's the note?
The third fret.
Oh, the third fret is G.
Middle finger though.
Middle finger.
Yep.
Okay.
Index finger underneath that on the second fret. Ring finger all the way on the third fret at the bottom. All the way at the bottom. So your thumb, you got to move your thumb.
Oh.
Right now your thumb's all the way up high. You got to move your thumb to the middle of the guitar in order to best do this.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So let's try it again. Up here.
Middle finger up. One string higher. Solid. Index finger underneath that on the second fret. Index, second fret. Yep. You just flattened it. Perfect. Ring finger all the way at the bottom on the high pitch E string. Yep. Boom. You want to do your best job to make sure that your index finger isn't touching any other strings. This is the best chord for that though. All 6 strings. One string at a time. That way we can hear which one is actually playing the sound. One string at a time. That one ain't making a sound.
Something.
I don't know if this finger's in the way.
I think there's one on the bottom was. My ring finger was in the way, I think.
This one? Or
This is my ring finger.
Okay,
right
yeah.
there. Okay, so
Shouldn't have even been playing.
this goes right up under there, right?
Nah, this one goes all the way at the top.
All the way at the top.
Mm-hmm. And shift this over so this on that fret. Yep, perfect. Let's just try to play those two though. Cool. Try to recurve your fingers. So like pull it around. Yep. Solid. Pinch it down a little bit tighter. Yep, try it again. That index finger still ain't getting right. And I think it might be the middle finger. Let's try to lift. So right now you might be playing too close to the nail. Let's try to lift. Show me your finger. Let's try to not play right there, but play kind of like right here-ish on the string.
This was here.
Yep, but the middle finger is what I was talking about.
This
so
is here.
yeah, lift it up a little bit more. A little bit more. But like, yeah, right there. That's probably good. That way it probably won't get in the way of the next string. Cool, I hear the A string now, but pinch it a little bit tighter. Oh, nah, I don't hear the A string. I don't know if it's the pinch here or if it's this finger getting in the way. If it's that finger getting in the way, you would have to curve your wrist a little bit more over so that it's not getting in the way. Bend this. You don't want it to. Right now, it looks like it's flattening. Yep. Cool, perfect. Try it. Lift your index finger, middle finger all together. Okay, cool. Now just play the A string. Just the A string. You hear how clear the A string is coming out now? When you put your middle finger down, I don't want it to get in the way of the A string. See what I'm saying? Do you feel the A string vibrating on your middle finger?
A little bit.
You don't want that at all. And that's really what I was trying to avoid by telling you to reposition your middle finger. You know what I'm saying? If you feel the middle finger touching the A string, try to readjust it. Still touching it. Try it again. Ooh, nothing. See how like we're trying to get it out of the way? It's still touching it a little bit, but I don't know. You might need a bigger guitar if that's the case.
No,
because it's still. I'm not trying to. I know people who got big fingers who've been able to play that though. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
We just gotta train these fingers to act right.
Yeah.
Paul. We gotta train these fingers here to act right.
Yeah. it just can't get in the way of the next string. So if you gotta lift your middle finger up and keep readjusting it, like right now, I'm not even using the flat part, this part of my fingernail anymore. I readjusted it all the way over here so that my middle finger would not even be touching the A string at all. I don't want your middle finger to touch the A string because this is what keeps playing. If you feel the A string vibrating on your middle finger, that means that your middle finger is in the way of the A string. You don't want your middle finger to be in the way at all.
This is supposed to be here, right? All right, and this finger is supposed to be up here, right? Or is it?
Nah, take it one fret over. It should be on the 3rd fret of the 2nd fret.
This should be on the 2nd fret.
Yes, and your ring middle should be on the 3rd fret.
Right here.
But you don't want your middle finger to be touching the A string at all. So if you play the A string and you feel the A string vibrating on your middle finger, it's in the way. You feel that? Like you feel this. You feel your middle, only play the A string. If you feel your middle finger while you're playing the A string, readjust your middle finger. Readjust the middle finger, not the index. The index was good. Your pointer was good. Your middle finger is in the way. Readjust the middle. Still feel it, don't you?
Yeah.
Lift it up. And yep, shift it up. Yep, perfect. Move your index finger back behind the metal bar. Perfect.
What's making my fingers stay?
Another factor though, you are slightly pulling the string down. Like as I see you press the fret, you are slightly pulling the string down.
Oh.
You don't want to do that too much because that could play a factor. Try to push the string upward instead. Just a little bit. So technically, I'm pressing down against the string, right? You see my index finger pressing down against the string? When I'm pulling it down into the next string. Try to push it upward instead. Just that middle finger. Yep, to get it out the way. It's still touching. Middle finger still touching the A string. I never had it this bad. Let's try one other shape.
Okay.
That way we can at least accomplish a chord shape. So you were talking about power chords earlier. Power chords might be the best bet for you in order to get used to playing. There goes the chord chart all the way at the top. Do you remember, have you learned how to play power chords or did you just ask about it?
No, you showed me, you told me this is a power chord. I mean, you told me when you
like.
was playing it.
Yeah, but you brought the conversation up, so I was just wondering if you've ever knew how to play it. Power chords don't require a finger to get in the way. Like you'll be a lot more freeing in order to play a power chord. Here's the chord chart for it, and it doesn't matter what fret you play it on, as long as you play this shape. So that's the 1st fret. Skip the 2nd, 3rd, 3rd. I'd recommend index, ring, and we don't even have to do all 3 strings. We could just do these 2 for now. So just 2. I would recommend index and ring.
The ring's on the 3rd
Yep. 1st fret, 3rd fret. Nice. A string. You're strumming. Yes. Okay, that's clear. Put the pinky finger underneath your ring on the same fret. Perfect. Boom. Smooth. Try to push down your ring finger just a little bit more, just a little stronger. That's smooth. Can you take that exact same shape, drag it up 2-4-4? 2-4-4. So exact same shape. Take all 3 fingers. 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret. So make sure it's not on the metal bar, but oop, you lifted your fingers up.
Uh-oh.
Ring finger should be on the A string, not pinky. ring, A string, not on the metal bar, but slightly that way, slightly to the right. So spread that out just a little bit more. Yep. Pinky right underneath it. Pinky right underneath it. Not the ring, pinky.
All right, pinky right here.
Yep. 2, 4, 4. Solid. Move the middle finger out of the way though. You don't need the middle finger.
Why is my middle finger? Why do I have? I don't need this.
You don't need it at the moment. There are shapes. Ring finger up a string. Middle finger don't gotta be there. Ring finger right here. Middle finger out the way. Yep. Try to use the fingertips though. And move your thumb so it's more behind your index finger. Your thumb so it's more that way. Yep. Pinch down a little bit stronger with that ring finger. Yeah, that's clean. Take that exact same shape, drag it up again. 3, 5, 5. Ring finger gotta be not on that metal bar. So check me out. Look at my hand. When you're moving these shapes, one thing that you're doing, you're moving your index and ring. You're moving your index and pinky very good. Like now I'm at 3 and 5, but my ring finger is on this metal bar, so it's not even really on 5. It has to pass that metal bar to be considered on the 5th fret. So you're still on the metal bar. You want to pass that metal bar. Don't lift it up though, but pass that metal bar for it to be considered on the 5th fret.
Okay, what about my pinky?
Pinky's also on the 5th fret. Pinky was already good though.
Oh.
Nice. Take it up again. 4, 6, 6. Nah, we're gonna keep going up. What we're doing is movable shapes. Metal bar is not in that fret zone. It gotta be right here.
On this side.
Yes, on the other side of the metal bar. Take it up again. 5, 7, 7. Solid. One more time. 6. We're gonna stop there. 6, 7, 6, 8, 8.
Uh-oh.
Metal bar, slightly to that way. Yep. No middle finger needed. Middle finger in the way. Yep. What we just did, we call those movable shapes.
Movable shapes?
Yeah, so earlier in the lesson, I said one thing that I like about guitar is like, when you learn how to play a chord, you can move it all around. Make sure that's not on the metal bar that way. Move it that way. Middle finger, ring finger that is. Yep. You want it to be within the metal bars, within the zone, not on the metal bar.
Not even the pinky.
The pinky is close to this metal bar, that's good. But the ring finger wasn't in the zone between the metal bar. Cool. Try to shift the pinky this way a little bit. This way a little bit. That way your ring. That way your ring and pinky are more so stacked on top of each other instead of side by side. Because right now, this is what your ring and pinky look like, side by side.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get it to the point where they're stacked on top of each other instead.
Oh.
So your pinky will be like underneath your ring finger. I know that won't be the most
You want my
comfortable
ring
thing.
finger here, but my pinky's right here. But why do I keep putting this finger there?
Let's take the hand off the guitar first. Try to put your ring finger on top of your pinky nail. Yep, that's what I was asking for. That way it'll be on the exact same fret. And I did notice you do have a dot. I said you usually have dots. Did you draw that?
No.
Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got a dot on 7. Perfect. And index finger would be on 6. So no middle finger needed.
Why do I
Perfect. Try to readjust your ring finger so that it's actually on the string. On the A string. Yep. And your pinky underneath it. Perfect. Try to pinch a little bit stronger with that ring finger. Nice. Well, what I said about movable shapes, though, you see how we kept the same distance. Mm-hmm. Fret, skip a fret, 2 frets. Skip, fret, skip a fret, 2 fingers on the same fret. So 6, skip 7, 2 fingers on 8. We just moved it all around, though. If I did index finger on 6, then 4, 2, 1, and I kept those power chords going, at that point, I'm playing a bunch of different songs. this could be hit the roll jack, right?
Right.
Hit the roll jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. It could be rolling in the deep. Rolling in the deep. You have my heart inside of your hands, but you played it. Movable shape. So a big benefit of having guitar or playing guitar, we get to keep our hands in certain places and just move them all around. It's kind of like a key change where you're technically we're still in the same key, but you don't have to worry about learning a new place to move your fingers all over the place. A piano is way more challenging. A piano, you might play a chord that's all white keys, but then you might have to switch where you're playing black keys and white keys at the same time. We don't have to worry about any of those differences. We don't have to worry about any shifts in our fingers moving too much, where we can employ movable shapes. That chord shape is easiest for big fingers to play.
Oh, it is?
For big fingers to play, because your fingers aren't getting in the way. Here's why I say that. When your finger is, let's put two fingers down on the same string. Two different frets though. Right now you got your finger on 7 and 6, right? Play that. You're only playing 7. Only play the A string, right? I want you to try to lift up your index finger, right? Keep the middle finger down. Does that sound any different?
Yeah.
Not really.
Wait a minute. No.
It's the exact same note. Because all that matters is what's being played closest to the body of the guitar, closest to the sound hole. So as you were trying to play like a G chord, right?
Okay.
As you were trying to play that G chord, your middle finger is closer to the sound hole. Your middle finger is getting in the way of this index finger. But if we were to reverse that direction, right? Now your middle finger wouldn't be getting in the way because it's underneath the index finger, right?
Okay.
So when we were playing our power chords, anything that was happening on this side of the A string wouldn't really matter. So if your index finger got in the way, it wouldn't matter because your index finger isn't getting in the way of this.
So you just bent your middle finger like that to get it out of the way, huh?
Yeah, I move my fingers all over the place whenever I need to do certain things. When I was first learning certain chords, I would stack my middle finger on top of my ring, on the top of my index finger. I don't recommend it. There's been times where I've kept it in the air. There's been times where I moved it out the way. There's been times where I've tucked it underneath the guitar altogether. But you're not supposed to do all of these things. It just really depends on the scenario when you do it. It's not supposed to be used because it's not the proper way of doing it. It's not the proper way of doing it. But when I tell you there are professional guitarists who do this all the time, you know what I'm saying? Professional guitarists who use improper methods in order to get a result. You know what I'm saying? So if it gets the result and it works, it's like technically trying to paint a house. You don't have the rollers, you don't have your spray gun, but you can still paint it some way. You made it work. The client didn't know. The client don't know the right way or the wrong way, but you still got the job done. It looked good. It works. Same place for guitar. So there's a lot of things that we'll do that might not be 100% proper, ethical, the way how classical guitarists would have done it, but it works. Kind of like how I said, you don't want to have your thumb at the top. There's times where people play the guitar and they use their thumb to play the guitar. That's not proper, but it works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's times where you'll break certain rules and it'll still get by, right?
Okay.
But a couple things just to review the things that we talked about so far. We talked about the warm-up. We talked about fingerstyle. We tried to play the chords, but we realized how our fingers were getting in the way of the previous string. You know what I'm saying? So we reverted to power chords instead. Let's start from the previous thing, or the most recent thing, all the way to the beginning. Let's review power chords one more time.
Okay.
Any fret that you want to do it on.
Okay, I'm gonna start here.
Go.
You say that.
That's 3. But put it on the E string instead. It doesn't matter if you're on the E string or A string, but we learned it on the E string. Go, you got 3. So you skip a fret, no middle finger.
Skip a fret.
So skip 4th fret and go into the 5th fret. No
Over
middle
to
finger.
here. Oh, no middle finger.
Yep, boom, pinky underneath that.
Why does this finger get in the way?
Just controlling the hand. You ain't used to it yet. Nice. try to push down harder on the ring finger. Nice. That's a power chord. There's a lot of songs. What? Oh, that's G. That's the B string ringing. Technically, with power chords, we got those X's. You only want to strum 3 strings. Power chords, we learned a few songs with it, but we didn't really play it. But 6, so index finger on 6, and since you have that dot, you have a reference, so you can easily find 6. That's on 7, so 6 is here. 6, 4, 2, 1. If you only play the E string, right hand gotta go to the E string, right hand. Yep. 6, take it to 4, 4, 2, and 1. That could be a whole bunch of songs. Back to 6, 6, 4, 2, 1. That's Hit the Road Jack. That's Rolling in the Deep. That's all the songs. You could play that as power chords though. So if you're gonna play that, try it as power chords this time.
All right.
Movable shape, movable chord shape.
Okay.
No middle finger
No middle finger.
for a power chord.
And skip 1.
Yep. Boom. 6, 8, 8. Oh, that's 5. Here's 6.
6.
Yep. Ring on 8, pinky on 8. You didn't skip the 7th fret though. Just slide this over.
I didn't skip.
There you go. Yep. Nice. 4th fret. 4th fret. Drag it down. Whole thing. 4th fret. Boom. Make sure you only strum with 3 strings. 2nd fret.
But see, when I move it down, my fingers
Yeah.
come up.
That's a part of it. You're gonna have to learn to get used to that. Shift it over so it's not on the metal bar. Yep.
Shit.
Index finger there though. Make sure you're not strumming these unnecessary strings though. So do your best to only. Nice. And then 1st fret. Nice. We're gonna learn a few power chord songs because those are some that we can actually rock with the actual chord shapes. But eventually, I still want you to try to do your best to try to maneuver your fingers away from the previous string. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that's going to be easy. That is something that you're just going to have to keep trying to adjust your hand for. It's not going to happen overnight though.
Okay.
So that was that. We looked at finger style. Try the rest strokes again. Remind me how rest strokes work. Let's do it on the high pitch E string. Let's try to put all 4 fingers down, so index, middle, and ring on the clear strings, on strings 1, 2, 3.
All right. Wait a minute.
Index, middle, ring.
Index,
Middle, ring, and thumb. Solid. Thumb on the 6 string 6. Try to just strum. Nice. Do all of them at the same time.
I'll do them all at the same time.
Yep, just pull it. This time I want you to think about it like, think about it like you're closing your hand, but you're lifting it this way. Yes, nice. That's smooth. Make sure you're on the right strings though. And another thing that we were practicing was just placing the right hand down on the strings so that you can get used to finding the strings. You can do that same thing with the left hand, right? Opening up your left hand and just trying to place your left hand down on the string so that you can find that power chord quickly. You know what I'm saying? So just putting your fingers on the strings will help you get used to finding the strings quickly. The better that you are at that, the faster you can play. Because there's some songs that require you to switch very quickly. You know what I'm saying? So it would be best if you already had the ability to just lift your fingers up and find the strings that you need to find quickly, whether that's on the right hand or on the left hand. So just constantly tapping the strings that you want to play, right? That will help you get used to finding those strings. And the warm-up that we did before we came in here, the very first thing that we did, the moving 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. Yep, but we did that to a consistent beat. You remember what that device is called that we did it to? You got it.
Start with the M.
Start with an M. Want the answer?
I want the answer.
Metronome.
Metronome.
Yes. But technically, you don't need a metronome. I recommend, because you said I could just go to YouTube and type in a metronome, right? Yes, you can go to YouTube and type in a metronome. You know what you could also do though? Type in drum beats. Drum beats play to a consistent beat too. I typed in drum beat. See the screen? Drum beat. 100 beats per minute. 120 beats per minute. They also got genres, you know what I'm saying? So you could do drum beats, 95 beats per minute. You could type in the specific number that you want. So if you feel like earlier we were going at 70 and you were keeping up. If you're like, all right, I'm ready for 80. I didn't mean 809. I'm ready for 80. Now you can listen to any drum beat. It doesn't have to be rock. It could be anything. The drum beat will move to the consistent pace, just like a metronome will.
Get the pocket hose.
So you can practice that moving 1, 2, 3, 4 to a metronome, or you can practice it to a drum beat. Here we go. We got a drum beat. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Make sure you're playing close to the metal bar though. Too easy for you.
That's too easy.
I would think so.
Okay.
You keeping up. 80 is cool.
But I gotta practice just to get used to
it.
Even slower, then I can slowly pick up my
And
speed.
slow practice is good practice. You could do 80 because it works for you. You could do 60. You could do 70. Once you got it, I always recommend doing it to the beat though, because right now you're doing it freely. Your fingers are finding the strings, but most music isn't free. Like if we were playing a song, nobody's gonna do like I'm trying to think about a random song, any song. Nobody wouldn't do You see how I keep pausing? That's technically what you're doing when you're playing without a beat happening. You know what I'm saying? Once you have that beat happening, and I'm pretty sure that's probably at, let's just say that's 120. That's probably 140, but I'm just going to put on 120. Okay. It's definitely like 140. I'm going to go for 160 though. Just so they could be slightly faster, right? Drum beats 160. Go to the
That's Hey Ya, ain't it?
Yes. It has to go to the beat. Yeah, that's Hey Ya. But you see how I'm playing.
But you changed it to different beats.
Well, I'm trying to keep up with him the whole time. If I'm doing anything and I'm not doing it to a drum beat, don't get me wrong. I'm practicing, man. I'm playing, I'm moving my hand, I'm moving my fingers. But music is sound organized by pitch and by rhythm. So it's one thing just to get the pitch. You playing a guitar, you getting the pitch by moving your fingers, right? But you're not getting the rhythm unless you practice to a metronome, practice to a drum beat. So I argue that rhythm is way more important than anything. You could be playing all the wrong notes, but people will figure out what you're playing. You can tell it's still happy. I was playing it horribly wrong, but you heard the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So you can figure out what I'm playing just off the... I argue that rhythm is way more important than notes. But of course, people want to get the notes right too. So they hyper focus on the notes. But you got to do it to a beat. You got to do it to a metronome. You got to do it to a drum track.
So what I need to do, you saying that even when I'm just doing my warm-up thing.
Yes, put on a drum track.
Put it to a... So I need, on YouTube, what I type in, metronome?
You can type in metronome or you can type in drum track, as long as it's going to have a consistent pulse. So if you type in metronome on YouTube, it'll pop up just like how those drum beats will. Do you think?
Hey, Pam.
Hey, I just left Simone's game. I saw I had a missed call from you.
Oh,